As we all seek to meet our obligations as participants in the Southern Alliance 2.0, we have monthly progress reports and a financial report that is due to the funder in order to mark our progress and to also track the funding. What would be useful, and I just wanted to share a couple tidbits in order to set these budgets up so that each month when you are putting your new information in, it should be relatively simple to just add the expenditures for the month and complete your report. Depending on how you set your budget up originally, when you sent in your original request to be funded to the CDC Foundation, that is the information that should be put in your budget 2021 agreement line items. So we'll use around numbers of $200,000, and I'm going to add just some specific numbers in these categories so that we can track this budget. Let's say we have $75,000 for salaries. We have $20,000 in benefits. We have another $30,000 for meetings, travel, and workshop. We have about $24,000 in contracts and consultants, no equipment. And then for the remainder, we have about $15,000 in supplies and services. With the indirect rate of about 0.8% is what this is showing. Going to make that the de minimis amount of 10%. So if there's a calculation in there, you need to make a change, you need to do in the window up here instead of trying to do it directly into the box. Makes that 184. Now, we know that that's not the allowable amount for this budget, but again, this is just for illustrative purposes. Now, if you need to do any modifications to your budget from what you originally submitted, this is the line item that you need to make those changes to. So the budget modifications that you are asking for, let's say you thought you were going to have $75,000 in personnel and salaries, but you're actually going to you're going to pay them as 1099s instead of payrolling them so that you have to take out benefits. So you want to add that 20,000 to the personnel's. And so you want to add 20,000 there, and you want to take it away in this item, in this line item, so that it balances out and that you will see that increase in the modified budget. So your total here should now be $95,000. And that total will be 0. And again, making sure that your total costs are the same. If those are the only modifications that you want to make to your budget, you can go on to your quarterly obligations. Now, when it comes to salary, if you're going to make incremental payments, then these numbers should be the same across each of these 4 quarters. And because we're actually only have 4 implementation months, I would suggest you just change this to month, and let's say month 1, April, so that we're clear on what we're doing and we can clearly explain it in our budget. Again, these are just our obligations. With those changes made, you should be able to just take that 75 or that 95 and divide it by 4. For $23,750 each month. Again, that's if you're making equal monthly installments to your the people that have been hired for the project. If you're paying them in a different cadence, then you could definitely split it up differently. But again, this is just for illustrative purposes. And again, we're just going to divide each of these over the time period. However, if you have meetings and you know most of your workshops, you didn't have any workshops in month 1, they're all going to occur in month 2 and 3. Then you would take that 30,000 and just split it 2 times. So 15 in month 2, 15 in month 3 for the entire 30,000 amount. And maybe let's say you're not going to start paying your contractors until month 2. And so you'll take that 24,000 divided by 3. Okay. And then finally in your supplies, you probably want to go ahead and spread that over the 4-month period. And again, this is based upon how you actually plan to use it. And that indirect cost would also be spread across the 4-month period. Okay. So if that is, again, that could go ahead and be preloaded into your obligation section so that you don't have to worry about touching that each month. Now, if for some reason your meetings got pushed back and you're going to end up doing some implementation in July, you can need to come back a month 2 and make a change to that. That's fine. But these obligations should be stipulated in the contractual agreements that you have with your contractors, as well as with any locations that you might be paying meeting fees and other workshop fees to. So those should be, you should have some documentation to dictate when these should be coming out, as well as how often they'll be getting paid. Now, when you get into the report that's due for April, the expenditures that you have, and again, we can go ahead and make these same adjustments to the expenditures to demonstrate the months instead of quarters. And since we've only had this 1 month, you, let's say you went ahead and you got your staff paid. You didn't have any expenditures due for meetings, travel, or workshops. You didn't pay any contractors in that first month. You didn't buy any equipment, but you did have some supplies, 3750. And you also want to go ahead and apply the indirect cost there. And so you want to make sure that your obligations in month 1 are total up to the same amount that you expended in month 1. And if not, you need to know what that reason is. And again, if you had to move something delayed, then that should be explained in your progress report as so that it'll be clear to people looking at your budget what has happened and why it's different than what you originally proposed. The rest of this budget actually completes itself as you complete each of the items that we've gone over before, so that by the end of the project period, you should have total obligations that are equal to the total amount of your modified budget. And if not, then you need to go back and look at your numbers and see where a number might be off. When you look at your expenditures, what you'll have in your total will be what you spent thus far, and it'll continue to subtract out until you get to 100%. And then basically this budget is telling you as of month one, you spend about 18% of your total budget. I hope this is helpful and illustrative of how you should complete the different items that are in the budget, but I'll be happy to respond to any questions that anyone may have by sending me a quick email, and we could jump on a call and we could talk through how to get this done. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and I'll see you soon.